All right, folks. Welcome into another show here right inside the HFA, also known as the Home Field Advantage. I've got some special guests with me tonight, and we are going to go ahead and introduce them. We have a full lineup of stuff to cover tonight. Once again, this is the Home Field Advantage. I've got the commissioner founder with me, J-Rock. I've also got a commissioner inside the league, Zeus, who is the owner of the Ohio State Buckeyes. And then I've also got a special guest tonight. First,
you guys couldn't even hear me because my mic wasn't even on. So I'm going to go ahead and start that over again. Welcome into the HFA live show here, week 5. Couple things that I've got going on. We've got a full lineup tonight, and I'm going to talk about a few things with my special guest. I'm going to introduce them here momentarily. But once again, this is the Home Field Advantage, and I have the founder, Commissioner J-Rock with me, who is the owner of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And then I've got Zeus, the Commissioner of the Ohio State Buckeyes, and owner of the Ohio State Buckeyes. And then I've got a first-time guest tonight, King Savage, who's the owner of the Texas Longhorns. How are we doing tonight, guys?
Doing pretty good, brother. How you doing? Doing all right.
I was gonna say man of many words here, as you can see. But yeah, we're right inside week 5 here. We're rocking and rolling. We've got quite a few games that have been taking place so far. We're gonna do a little bit of a recap, and then yeah, let's just start with that. First things first. As I said, we're in week 5. I'm gonna just do games that we've covered or that we've got going on inside week 5 that have played in the games. I don't think LSU Ole Miss has played. LSU did pull out with a 24-10 win over the Rebels. And then outside that, I think that was the only user game that's been played.
Yeah, for this week, that's the only user game so far.
So yeah, LSU gets a big win over the rival Ole Miss Rebels. You're gonna see here, I'm gonna pull up the conference standings and look at the top 25. First, we'll start off with the SEC, since that's tier 1. For those of you that don't know, we've broken this league up into a few tiers. Tier 1 is our top users based off of record. I'll show you guys the spreadsheet a little bit. Might make more sense here in a little bit. But tier 1 is going to be our users from year to year, or game to game, year to year. Those are the guys that are in top tier. Then we have some guys in tier 2 that could be in tier 1, but they've been elected for tier 2, and that's going to be the Big 10 and the ACC conference. And then tier 3 is our Big 12 conference. So looking at the SEC, currently as we stand again, top tier, the Florida Gators sit at the top at 4-0. At number 2, along with Texas, also 4-0, but has yet to play a conference game. They're 4-0 overall. Georgia, who is 1-0 in conference, number 3 overall. Yes.
Hey, real quick, one of our users said that you might want to turn your output off on your mic. He's hearing echoes. Here, I'll tag he wrote that in the streaming HFA tab.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Oh, now you're completely off.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm fixing it. Give me 1 second here as I update that.
Sorry, guys. Give us 1 more second. Having a little technical difficulties with sound. It was working fine earlier.
How about now? Is there an echo? Let me know if there's...
Yeah, Virginia Tech just said it's pretty rough. Guys, how am I coming through right now? All right, it's clear right now with me. Okay. For right now, Hurt, while you're figuring that out, you stopped off at Texas being 4-0. I'm going to jump over, and I'm on my game too, so I'll jump into the SEC and start talking about this as well. So for conference standings, we'll go down to the SEC. And for right now, it looks like Texas is 4-0. He does have 2 big wins over Ohio State and the Oregon Ducks. But they are tier 2 users, and he is a tier 1. So it looks like it's going to be, he's got some pretty interesting matchups coming up in the next couple weeks. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Next user up is Alabama, who's 3-0, who has gotten a couple of big victories against users so far. LSU is right behind them. He's actually lost to our last year's current champion, but he does have 2 user wins under his belt as well against 2 other teams. Oklahoma is coming in at 3-1. He's 0-1 in the conference. He did have to take a forced loss due to unavailability, but it's just 1 game, so I plan on seeing him bounce back. Tennessee is 2-2, and then Texas A&M. They are 3-1. They've got a big win over Notre Dame. And then they also suffered a defeat to the Badgers, but they are looking good. I do plan on seeing them have a pretty strong season. Real quick, I am going to throw this over to King because he does have a couple of big matchups coming up and he's got the Florida Gators coming up as the champion. And then right after that, he's got OU Boomer Sooners coming up, and both of these guys defeated him in the playoffs. King, I'm going to throw this question over to you, brother. How do you feel going into these matchups this week, knowing that you've had some troubles with these guys in the past?
They got talent.
Oh, King, is your mic
on? Him, and he does kind of make it's going to be hard. Fuck.
I don't know if you're able to hear him or not. I'm having some issues hearing him, J-Rock.
Here, Jay, I'll let you do it. Can you guys hear me?
Now I can hear you. Oh, now you're coming in clear.
Okay. As I was saying, with the Gators, he has very good receivers. DJ Lotway with platinum extender. So I can't go in that game thinking it's going to be sweet. You know, they got to send a lot of pressure. I know he's going to break a lot of sacks and stuff, and he's a great user too. So got to go in there, try not to make plenty of mistakes, because I did that last time, and he made me pay for it. And then after he's a great user. He looks for you to make mistakes, and then when you make those mistakes, make sure, hey, games, I'm looking forward to them. I know it's going to be tough. I can't go in there thinking. And I just gotta play my game. I can't really, try to do extra stuff. I gotta go in there, make plays.
All right, brother. So I gotta ask you another question. I know it's kind of early,
okay,
and we might not should ask this, but what's your prediction on the final score between you and Florida?
Okay, if I play with no mistakes, I say one of us win by a touchdown.
Woo.
If I do make mistakes, I say I lose. I'll say I lose by 14. If I make mistakes.
If you lose by
As
how
for
much?
the OU game, I'll say somebody wins by 14. Or if I make a mistake, I'll say probably the final score probably be 42 to 5.
All right, well, J-Rock.
All right, that sounds like it's on a prediction. Hey, Hurt, you're still not coming through, brother. Just to give you a heads up. All right. Well, with that, hey, King, thanks for getting those questions answered. I'm looking forward to both of those games. As far as our next conference goes, we're going to jump up to the Big Ten. And
Okay.
Big Ten is pretty interesting this year. It does look like we got some new users up in there. They're kind of giving us some whirlwinds. And it looks like USC, Josh Allen for MVP, is coming in hot, being 4-1 and 2-1 in the conference. He did have to take a sim loss because he was out of town. But otherwise, I think he's 5-0 and 3-0 in the conference. And then directly behind him, we got Big Hurt coming in at 3-1 and 1-0. And let's face it, he should be 4-0. And his only loss came because he's out of town and on hotel Wi-Fi, which I took full advantage of. If we go a little bit further down the list, we're going to be looking at Penn State at 2-1, followed by Ohio State at 2-1. Both of them have not played a single conference game, so they're still in this with a chance to play for that title. Then going down the list, we got Michigan Oregon and Wisconsin all at 2-2 with an 0-1 conference record. It's still early in the season, but they can come back from this and potentially play in that championship game. Ohio State, I'm going to throw this over to you. Who do you feel like is going to run away with the ACC? Or the Big Ten, my bad, your division.
I mean, it really comes down to how Penn State plays in his upcoming games. He's probably, between him and Nebraska, are the two top dogs I'm looking at to be on the top. I mean, Oregon's got 2 losses, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think they play any other really. They do play Penn State this year, so that's going to be a big game for them, and then for both of them. And then Nebraska plays Penn State, and I also play Penn State, so Penn State has a lot of, user games coming up like towards the end of his schedule. So I definitely foresee something going on at the end of the year. It's going to come down to probably week 10, week 11 to find out who is really going to be at the top there.
Gotcha. Nice. Big Hurt, let's get a sound check from you, brother. See if you're coming through yet.
I should be good. I think I got it figured out. And you should be able to hear me. But
Big Hurt, you still there?
Yeah, you can hear me on.
All right. Well, he's going to be controlling the show, and I'll just go ahead and kind of jump in here and go as far as I can with it. We're going to jump over to the next conference. We're going to jump up to the ACC in front of the Big 12, since AC is also a Tier 2. And what we're looking at here is it looks like Georgia Tech. He's a new user that just came in. He's going to be 4-1 with a 1-1 conference record. He's only won one of his games personally against the CPU, but he will have some interesting CPU matchups coming up. Coming up in second place as far as users go is going to be Clemson, who's 2-1 and 1-0. So he's sitting in a really good spot to be able to come up and be able to have a chance to actually take control and win this conference. Then as we go down, we got Virginia Tech, who's 3-2 and 1-0. They have a very good chance of taking over and being really impactful. Same as SMU with the exact same record, 3-2 and 1-0. He has played some pretty tough users, but with that being said, he's still in the thick of things. And then as we go down, we've got Miami, who's 2-2, but they're 0-1 in conference. Still not out of it. Still have a great chance to get back into this. Then we've got Notre Dame at 2-2, but he's 2-0 in conference play. He's lost. I know he's lost a tough user matchup, and he still has a chance to actually win this conference and make a difference. And then to me, the biggest surprise of the season is probably Florida State. I kind of had him picked to have a little bit better of a record at this point, but as of right now, he's 0-3 and 0-1 in the conference. He still has plenty of time to turn this around, though. So we'll just kind of wait and see how that plays out and see if he can actually make a comeback. King, I'm going to throw this over to you, brother. Who do you think walks away with the ACC?
The Tech looks really good. Also think that Clemson could have a good year. They got a great defense, really good D-line for sure, and they got AJ Terrell's brother playing corner. I think if he can do good on the offense with Cade, I believe he could walk away with that. Notre Dame, he can have a bounce back too. He has a great D-line. But I'm going to go with Clemson. Yeah, Love is really good, but I'm going to go with Clemson, though.
Gotcha. Zeus, what about you? Who do you feel like walks away with the ACC?
Definitely picking Clemson, but I think FSU gives it a run for the money. I mean, I've played that man for 2 years now, and he's a tough user, so he's definitely going to get some wins underneath his belt here coming soon. So I know he had that vacation and everything, and he had to take some time off, but I think he turns it around. He might be a surprise dark horse in that race there.
Nice. Big Hurt, let's get a sound check real quick, brother.
You should be able to hear me. I got it figured out. I was having issues with my one account. But my mic was coming through on the stream. I checked that. You should be able to hear me now.
Loud and clear. All right, let's throw the same question over to you, brother. Who's winning the ACC this season?
Yeah, I was gonna kind of backtrack here because I was listening to a lot of like the conversations and stuff you guys have had. I think for me, the ACC right now, it's wide open. Notre Dame is still at the top, even with 2 losses. Clemson's right there with 1 loss, but they're 1-1 in conference. So obviously those 2 sit at the top. But I'm actually gonna go with the dark horse team, and then somebody that just joined. I know him pretty well, and I'm gonna go with Georgia Tech to surprise some people. I think Georgia Tech is gonna make some name for himself. This guy plays well, and he's a big Yellow Jackets fan. So he's got his team, and I know he knows how to use his players. Offensively, he's got some speed with 2 receivers, a running back, and a quarterback. So I expect Georgia Tech to be there at the end, in the mix of things. And I'm also very shocked with Florida State sitting where they're at. But, three losses, one of them being conference play, 2 non-con losses. He had a tough kind of start, but he has plenty of time to get things turned around. But I'm going to go with Georgia Tech and probably playing against Notre Dame or Clemson for this ACC title. When I was going to kind of backtrack, I think before we get to the Big Ten, or before we get to the Big 12, the Big Ten, I think what's interesting is how many user games Penn State does have. Penn State's pretty loaded. I think what's going to come of it is if I suffer a loss to Penn State and anyone else, then I think I fall out of that contention. But I think it's either going to be if I can get through the rest of my schedule with a loss to Penn State and only Penn State, then I think it'll be me versus either Penn State, Ohio State, or potentially Michigan as a rematch. But I think Ohio State's the team that I'm kind of zeroing in on right now. Just because he kind of controls his own destiny. I think Ohio State will have the upper hand on Michigan. And like he said earlier, he has a game against Penn State. And as Penn State works through that gauntlet, I could see USC standing there at the end as well. But I'm gonna go with Ohio State as kind of the team that I'm looking at in the Big Ten for me to get through if I can get past Penn State. And then the SEC, just since I kind of missed out on that being tier 1, I'm really excited for the opportunity to see Texas play Florida and Oklahoma. There's a lot of guys in this conference that would be really fun to watch when they get matched up with certain teams and certain matchups. And you got Texas getting 2 of them here coming up. So if you guys got free time and you see those games go live, definitely tune in. King Savage is a top tier player, which is why he's in tier 1. But just kind of looking at the numbers here, Florida has 170 points for and 58 allowed. Texas is 204 63 allowed, and then Oklahoma has 132 and 57 allowed. What stands out for me there is Texas is scoring 200 plus points. The only team that has more than that is LSU, but they haven't a full another game played. So I think that's for me with 4 games. That's 50 points, 51 points a game. That's a lot of points. And he's definitely got the defense to go with it. So if he can find those and play, like he said, play mistake-free ball, this Texas-Florida matchup and this Oklahoma-Texas matchup will be fun to watch. I think it's too early to tell who's going to be this guy that stands at the end right now, just because there's so many guys that are in that position. With Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Texas, even LSU, Oklahoma. There's a lot to be played out. So I don't want to pick a winner just yet. But I'm excited to see those matchups coming up. And then kind of turning the table or turning the corner. We're gonna go to the Big 12. And this is our tier 3. So I'll kind of let you take over and finish that up.
All right, so for tier 3, it looks like we got BYU. Biggest surprise to me of the season, BYU is leading the Big 12. He is rated number 6. He is 3-0. He's 0-0 in conference, and he's got a big-time game coming up against the Colorado Buffaloes either today or tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure, but those guys are fixing to get that in. I'd tune in for that one. Down in second place, we've got Utah, which honestly, he's probably more into like first place because he is 4-0. He is 1-0 in conference record, and he's ranked number 21. He did get a big victory in his head-to-head for tier conferencing over me. So kudos to him. I'm looking forward to seeing how he balls through the rest of the season. We've got Baylor at 4-1, who is 2-0 in conference. Then I'm at 3-1, but I'm 0-1 at conference. We've got Jake at 2-1 in conference, or in win-loss, but 1-0 in conference. Then we got Colorado coming in at 2-2, but 0-1 in conference. Kansas State 2-2 and 0-2 in the conference, and Arizona State 2-3 and 0-2 in the conference. I really feel like in this division that it's going to come down to Baylor and Utah, but I don't want to discount BYU yet because if he keeps winning, then I think he's right there in it, and he may be playing for a conference championship in the Big 12. At this point, Zeus, I'm going to kick it over to you. Who do you feel like may run away with the Big 12? Hope you're on mute, brother.
Yeah, I definitely see BYU being a surprise. I mean, obviously I haven't played against the guy before, so definitely a new up-and-comer. But that game that you lost was definitely a heartbreaker. But, you've pulled out some more, so I foresee you sitting in the championship for the Big 12. But I think it's going to be BYU. Honestly, it's going to be a little bit of a matchup between BYU and Utah, seeing who's going to fit through their schedule and get through the conference. I mean, like you said, BYU's got a big game against Colorado, and Colorado's no slouch. So I'm interested to see that game. I think they're going to be playing either tonight or tomorrow night, so I'm not sure. But I'm definitely interested to see that game for sure.
All right, King, I'm going to throw it over to you, brother. Who do you got walking away with the Big 12?
I can.
Oh, you're on mute, G.
Also,
Yo, King. Oh, there you go. Mike's back on now.
okay. I can see BYU for sure. Like,
hey, King, are you talking?
It's kind of cutting
in and out. I don't know if he's using like a headset or earbuds or something like that. Sometimes Discord has an issue with that. But
yeah, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, I can better now. Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. As I was saying, I can see BYU coming away with it, but I'm gonna go with my gut and say Utah.
Hey, that's a solid choice. He's a pretty good user.
I think for me, I think Utah's a team
with the win over you
week 4, 28 to
14. Obviously, week 3 we played.
With my hotel setup, obviously you guys can see the background, another normal setup. But I'm on the hotel. I got some things figured out. I wish I would have had that figured out before we played our week 3 match, because I think it would have been a much more pleasant game for both sides. The first we played wasn't obviously the best of conditions. So, but obviously you showed me some things offensively, and just see Utah hold you to 14 points. I think Utah's got to be the team that I'm picking right now. That rivalry matchup between Utah and BYU is going to be a banger. I think at BYU will have kind of the advantage there with the home field in the game. I think it comes down between Utah and Texas Tech in the end, though, as a rematch, because I do see Texas Tech making it through the rest of their schedule. Since you have Arizona State, Kansas State, and BYU left, you don't have to play Baylor, you don't have to play Colorado, and you don't have to play Arizona State. So I think Arizona State, but What's the other
What's the other team I'm thinking of?
Arizona. So
just Kansas State, BYU, and Arizona State left.
I think those are
winnable games for you, and that gives you one loss.
I see
you in the end playing Utah in Dallas
in
the Big 12 championship.
Gotcha. I'm gonna throw one more thing out there. I know we're all kind of missing on Baylor, but Baylor's another good user, and I think he's going to surprise some people. He's beaten a tier 2 user on the season, and I feel like he could do some things. So for the end, for me, I kind of see either Utah, BYU, or Baylor in it. I'm not trying to discount myself or anything like that, but I just believe in those users. I think they're having a strong year. Some magic's happening for some of these teams, and I feel like that may carry them a little bit further. But that's my take on it, and that's our take on pretty much who wins the conference. What we're going to jump into next is I'm just going to kind of jump into the statistical leaders, who's doing what so far. And I'm going to start off with the quarterbacks, and I'm just going to kind of talk through the top 5 guys as far as like passing yards go, and who's given great performances so far. So with that being said, I'm going to kick it off with the number 1 quarterback as far as passing yards go, and we're going to give it up for that user Ole Miss and Austin Simmons, who's got 1,800 passing yards. And then directly after him, we've got Jaden Maeva with USC with 1,485 up on the scale. So he's second place amongst all users. Then after that, we've got Garrett Nussmeier with 1,432 yards. And after him, we got Devin Dampier, Utah, up in there with 1,366 yards. And then the 5th place user, we're going to throw a shout out to SMU and Kevin Jennings, who's got 1,286 yards through the air. Now, we're going to jump over to completion percentages to talk about who's the most accurate quarterbacks in our dynasty so far. And the first user that I'm going to come across is DJ Lagway, the Florida Gators, who's coming in with an 84% completion percentage with over 999 yards and 9 touchdowns. Second place to that is going to be Keelan Russell with an 83% pass percentage, over 858 yards and 9 touchdowns as well. Then in third place, we got Baron Morton with Texas Tech, who's throwing 83% with over 1,100 yards. Then we've got Drew Aller of Penn State throwing 82% with 632 yards. He doesn't have the yardage, but that's his normal everyday starter, and he is being very accurate with them. As far as touchdowns go, our league leader in touchdowns is, we're going to throw it right back to Ole Miss and Austin Simmons. Then we've got Devin Dampier of Utah with 21. Then we've got Garrett Nussmeier with LSU at 18. Then we've got Carson Beck with 16 coming in 5th place. As far as the quarterbacks go, I'm going to throw this over to you, King. Who do you feel like's been the best quarterback for the year so far as yardage, touchdowns, and percentages go?
I'm gonna have to go with 2 people. My boy on Ole Miss, he's been doing good with Simmons, and then and then I'm gonna have to go with USC because he lost Zachariah Branch. He transferred to Georgia, and I'm not saying that receiver core is terrible, but he did lose one of his best receivers at that time. And he's actually balling with the team that he has left. So I'm going to have to go with those 2.
All right, big bet. Hurt, we're going to turn it over to you. Who do you feel like's been the best quarterback so far in the league as far as completion percentage, yardage, and touchdowns?
I think this could be kind of a wide open discussion. Obviously, Austin Simmons is pretty impressive. 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 70%. Those are some crazy good numbers. But I think for me, I'm going to stick with Garrett Nussmeier on my end. with Nussmeier having 78% completion percentage, 18 touchdowns, only 4 picks at LSU. And I think most teams in college football thrive off of having a dual threat quarterback, a guy that's a little bit more mobile, and guys like tend to like to blitz a lot. Having a pocket passer, you're really just staying in there throwing the ball. Whereas Simmons, Dampier, some of these guys that can get out of the pocket. You get some different angles. You get some different, you can extend the play type of thing. And so I think for me, what's impressive is Nussmeier with his numbers being a pure pocket passer and not having the most like agile or speed, mobility type of play, and then not to mention playing at LSU in the SEC with some of the early non-con competition that he is up against. It's pretty impressive. So I'd have to give it to Garrett Nussmeier early on.
Right on. All right, so we're going to jump over to the running backs now. So we got Dylan Edwards of Kansas State, who's the #1 user running back with over 445 yards. After that, we're going to have Kanye Udo of Arizona State. He's coming in at 422. After that, we've got Star Thomas with 356. Makai Hughes of Oregon with 355. And then we've got, for 5th place, Eli Sanders of all the users with 345 yards. As far as touchdowns go from the backfield, we have Caden Durham of LSU with 10 touchdowns. We've got Rashul Faison from South Carolina with 7 touchdowns. And we've got Eli Sanders out here with 6 touchdowns, who's kind of leading the charge there. And then Bryson Washington of Baylor out there with 6 touchdowns. And I'm going to go ahead and throw out an honorable mention. We got Marcel Reed, the dual threat quarterback with 5 touchdowns on the season so far. He's going to be our 5th leading touchdown maker. All right, so King, I'm going to throw it over to you. Who do you feel like is the biggest threat on the ground? And if you had to play any of these guys, who would be the hardest for you to stop?
I'm gonna go with 2. I'm gonna go with Edwards. He's really good on this game, and that user is having a great season so far with him. And then I'm gonna have to go with LSU with Durham, because Durham is filthy in the run game, and he can be deadly in the pass game. So I'm gonna have to go with those 2.
Right on. All right, Big Hurt, I'm gonna throw it over to you. Who's the best running back so far, or who do you think you would have the biggest problem stopping?
Well, for me, early on, pure running back, obviously Durham is the guy that I look at. He's a really nasty runner, but from statistically, I'm gonna go with Star Thomas out of Tennessee. He doesn't quite have the touchdowns, but he is in the top 5 users in rushing. But the number that I'm looking at, he has 14 broken tackles, which is there at the top, along with like LJ Martin, who also has 17. He's more of a bruiser back, so I expect that. But Star Thomas has kind of the all-around package. And then my second guy that I'm actually going to throw out there isn't even a running back, it's a quarterback, is Devin Dampier, has 8 runs over 20 yards. And when you got a quarterback that can throw for almost 1,500 yards through the first 4 or 5 weeks, but he has over 8 runs over 20 yards with 3 touchdowns, that's like the definition of a dual threat, pure running quarterback. So that's something that you definitely have to have your sights on when you're looking at like defensively and how to game plan. Utah's got it figured out there with Devin Dampier.
Yeah, he does. Good call out on that. All right, now we're going to jump over to the wide receivers. So This one's going to be a little bit fun. Ron, I saw you talking about you getting mentioned. Well, brother, you're going to get mentioned twice here. So number one is going to be Caden Lee, leading the way with 612 yards. Then after that, you're going to have Romello Brinson of SMU, 486 yards. Then we've got Ryan Williams of Alabama coming in at 474. Then we got Trey'Dez Green with 462 yards coming in at number 4 as a tight end. And then Ole Miss, I said I was going to mention it twice. We got Dejon Stribling with 441 yards. You've got 2 players in the top 5 as far as receiving yards go out of users. All right, so I'm going to throw this over to King. Who's going to be the biggest matchup nightmare that you think you might face this season? I know who you're going to say.
I'm definitely. Well, since Baron Brown's hurt, the only way I'll probably play him is if we both make the conference championship. So I'm gonna scratch him out. I'm gonna have to go with Florida with Eugene Wilson. That dude's a monster. You press him, he's getting separation right off the bat. You can try to double him, but he has such a great route running that it's gonna be hard to even do anything with him. And then another guy I'd probably go with. I would probably say that Arkansas receiver, the dude that has 99 speed. I forgot his name, but he's really good too. Like he's dangerous. So that's my 2 that I would probably say that isn't a matchup nightmare for me.
Gotcha. All right, Big Hurt, big matchup nightmare for you.
I mean, in my conference, obviously it's going to come down to Jeremiah Smith. I don't know where that guy's at. I'm kind of like confused. I scrolled down. I don't even see him anywhere. And I'm like, where's this dude at? I just went to the Big Ten. He's got only 271 yards, 3 touchdowns, averaging 9 yards a game. Like, we got to get this guy going. This guy's one of the best elite receivers and full package wideouts that is in college football right now. So I would, for the Big Ten, I'm going to say Jeremiah Smith that's left on my schedule. But if I am looking beyond that in hopes of college football playoffs, I think it can be easily said, obviously non-Big Ten team. Ole Miss has got to figure it out. They've got a third receiver that's pretty nasty. But I'm going to throw out their one guy that I just absolutely hate playing, and that's Nick Harbor from South Carolina. 6'5", 235 pounds, fast, almost like a tight end, but basically is a tight end, but he just lines up as a receiver, kind of towers over any corner. He's got speed for days, so I think that would be a guy that is a matchup problem. But for me, looking as a whole right now, Ole Miss has 2 receivers that you have to pick your poison of where you want to go up against that team. And so I think for me, Ole Miss right now would be the team that I would be worried about.
Yeah, and I'll throw it out there for me. That to me seems like the matchup nightmare with him having 2 stellar receivers and then having that third guy in there that he's able to mix in. So that's who I'm with you on that boat. For me, it'd be Ole Miss as that matchup nightmare, just because he has so many weapons on that offense, and with Austin throwing so well and him commanding that offense, to me that would just be a matchup nightmare to try to stop that passing game. All right,
his third receiver is a 6'1", 79 overall with 91 speed, and then you got Caden Lee and Stribling, who are both like superstar ability players. So,
yeah, exactly. All right, guys, we're gonna jump over to the top offensive teams, and we're gonna talk about them in the league. So, top offensive team with 1,898 yards is going to be the Utah Utes. He's out here crushing folks and putting up yards. Then we're going to go down to LSU Roverhead, who's got 22. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Is this not in order? Here, hold on 1 second. This is not in order.
What's yards
per game, I think is what it's based off of.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna go with total offense. My fault on that. Here, actually, no, I'm gonna transition that to yards per game. Yeah, so let's keep it there. So Utah, 474.5 yards per game of offense every time that man steps out on the field. So yeah, he's definitely one of the top offensive players. Then number 2 is going to be LSU, who's at 451.4 yards per game. Then we're going to roll down, and we've got Texas coming in at number 3 with 414 yards per game. South Carolina is directly behind him with 414 yards per game. And then in 5th place, we got Alabama holding it down with 410 yards. As far as passing touchdowns go, obviously we got Ole Miss at the top with 23. You got Utah up there with 21. LSU coming in hot with 19. We got Miami, Crash Out D, coming in with 17. And then University of Texas, number 5, coming in with 16 passing touchdowns. As far as rushing touchdowns go, leaders of the league, we're looking at LSU with 14. Texas A&M with 11. We've got University of Texas at number 3 with 10 touchdowns. South Carolina coming in with 10 touchdowns at number 4. And then Georgia Tech is newer. I know that he hasn't accumulated all these stats, but the man is good. Y'all count y'all's chickens over there. He's going to be an honorable mention with 9. But I'm going to give the 5th best to the Baylor Bears with 9 touchdowns because he's played all his user games. Like I said, don't discount Georgia Tech because they are coming in hot. All right. So, guys, I'm going to throw it back over to you. King, let's start with you, brother. Who do you think's got the most explosive offense out of all these teams that we mentioned that are like leading the league as far as offense goes?
I'm gonna not include myself. I'm gonna say LSU for sure. Cause he has Durham. He did lose Baron Brown, but he has another speedster on that receiver core that's a freshman in Watkins that can replace him for right now. He has a lot of talent at the receiver spot. Tight end's good. Has a great quarterback. So I'll put him there. The Georgia Tech user. Like Big Hurt said, he's used to that team. That's his favorite team, so he knows that team very well. So I won't be surprised if he ends up in the top 3 leading in offense. So I'm going to go with those 2 for sure. And then I will probably put Ole Miss with Ryan. He's doing very good with that team. So I'm going to have those 3 as my top 3.
Gotcha. Big Hurt, let's throw it over to you, brother. Who's your top offensive so far?
I think LSU is obviously given, but he's got a pretty loaded team right out of the box. I think with the running back, the quarterback, the receiver, the tight end, it's just a complete team. So I think you have to throw that. Texas is another one, like very complete, very speed-driven team. The quarterback plays Manning, is kind of an all-around quarterback. So those two teams are averaging 51 and 40.4 points a game. That's just unheard of. But right there is Utah, 47 points a game. And Dampier, in my eyes, is kind of the early Heisman MVP just because without his play, I don't think Utah has the success that they've had. Texas, you have the running game, you have the pass game, you have the defense. Like Utah is a little bit less on the scale from overall standpoint. And so Dampier's play has carried that team and driven and putting up really good numbers. I don't want to say hope, but I'll be interested to see if Utah's success sustains, and if it does, how that translates throughout the year. But then another team that I want to throw out there as well. Obviously,
is Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss is putting up great numbers. We talked about the passing game.
He's averaging
36.8 points a game.
And being in the SEC, again, 84 overall, compared to some of these like 89, 91 overall teams. He's doing his thing. And so shout out to the Ole Miss Rebels. And like I said, if you keep that going, I think you might be the story of the year if your success continues.
All right, boys. We're going to transition over to defense now. We're going to talk about the top 5 defensive teams in the league. We're going to start out with number 1 with 125.7 yards per game allowed. And that is Alabama. And then after them, it's going to be LSU with 134.8 yards per game allowed. And then we're going to transition over to Tennessee at 154.5 yards per game allowed, followed by Penn State at 156 yards per game allowed. And then a Big 12 team representing Tier 3 for us. Let's go Colorado, coming in at number 5 on defense with 172.3 yards per game allowed. As far as sacks go on the year, we are looking at USC at number 1 with 27. LSU is number 2 with 22. Oregon is immediately behind them at 21. University of Texas is in 4th place with 18. And then, hey, another Big 12 representative of Tier 3 with 17 sacks is Arizona State. As far as the teams leading in fumbles, let's see. This list is a little tougher. Notre Dame with 5. We've got Texas with 4 at number 2. Gators with 3 in the 3rd spot. Utah Utes with 3, tied for 3rd. And Arizona Wildcats with 3, coming in at number 5. Way to go, Jake, on getting them fumbles. And then as far as interceptions go, the Florida Gators lead the land with 11 picks, followed by Texas with 10. Then we've got Ole Miss also in there with 10, so playing good defense on that pass game. Virginia Tech Hokies coming in at 4 with 9. And then we got the Wisconsin Badgers closing out this list in the top 5 with 9 picks as well. All right, guys. So defense is another part of this game, and I know there's some defenses out there that I do not want to play. I'm going to turn this over to you, King, first. Who's the scariest defense that if you had to line up against them, you're worried about putting up points that day?
I'm going to first start out with LSU. They added Patrick Payton from FSU to play along with Harold Perkins. And those two off the edge is nasty. He has a great secondary, especially that freshman. I really like that freshman. I'm not sure if he's starting him, but if he is, it's going to cause a lot of problems for teams. DJ Pickett, that freshman, he's 6'5", got like 95 speed. He's nasty. So you can't really expect to throw it deep on him and not expect it to get picked off. So I'm going to go with LSU. Bama for sure. Bama's always had a great defense, so that's another team to be scared of. Ole Miss has a good D-line, so kind of scared of that. And another team I'd probably put up there, Florida for sure. Great D-line, good linebackers, solid young secondary core. So, yeah, they'll be my picks for sure.
Gotcha. All right, Hurt, let's go over to you, brother. What's that matchup nightmare on defense that you're not looking forward to?
I would say
Alabama, just because Alabama's got linebackers that can run with some of your receivers and speed-wise.
They got an
89 speed, 92 excel. Deontay Lawson.
Nikhil
Green has decent speed in the middle, but he's also 235 pounds, so he can play right there in the defense.
Then you got the thumper, Kwa, 6'2", 241 outside, 87 speed, 3 excel. Those guys, you can play 3-3-5, you can play 4-2-5, you can play and put one of those guys as an edge rusher. The versatility of this defense is crazy. They've got an edge rusher in LT Overton, who's a power rusher, 6'5", 280 pounds. But he's got 85 speed, 89 excel, 88 strength. Just a complete package. They've got a
nose
tackle
that is a gap specialist, Tim Keenan the third, 6'2", 325 with 96 strength.
And then on the back end, you've got corners, 96 speed, 92 speed.
That are both 6 foot and 6'1". Two safeties on the top as well. Box specialist, superstar, 6'1", and then a strong safety, Bray Hubbard.
This is coverage
specialist at 6'2". So
you got your four
DBs on the starting that are all over 6 foot, with speed in front of them, and guys getting after the quarterback.
I think
Alabama's the team that would be probably the scariest for me matchup.
But I think another team that I can't forget about is when the game first comes out. I always kind of look at teams, and I'm going to say Penn State. Penn State is a team that I look at, and their built success is just based off of their defense. They've got two edge guys. And
they're both just fierce pass rushers. They've got the defensive tackle and Zane Durant right at the middle. And then their speed of linebacker is crazy good.
But it's the back
end secondary for me. AJ Harris, bump and run 6'1" corner. Eli Washington has 95 speed, 97 excel.
Then you've got
your free safeties, Zakee Wheatley with 90 speed, 93 acceleration.
And then
DeJuan Lane, box specialist, isn't the greatest, at least fast,
but it's King Mack, the backup strong safety,
which you can run some hybrid 4.25s and put him in a special package, and he's got 98 speed.
So there's a
lot of speed on the Penn State defense, which just makes it hard.
And I feel like the
college game is driven against the sidelines, the jet sweeps, the quick screen plays, the deep balls, all that stuff. And Penn State can box any team up pretty well.
Gotcha. Good picks. All right. So I guess to kind of close out the show, we're going to talk about the Heisman Trophy race real quick. We do have 5 players up there right now that are kind of leading the way on that. And we're going to be looking at Caden Durham of LSU. Who's right now, he's number 1 with his last game having 95 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 4 catches for 47 yards. Then we got DJ Lagway, who didn't put up super impressive numbers in that game, but the man is playing on fire with him. He was 11 for 13, 186 pass yards, 2 passing touchdowns with a pick. But don't let him fool you. His touchdown to interception ratio is sitting right around 9. So got to be wary of him. And then we're not going to talk about Isaac Brown. This is CPU. You guys better not let him creep up into there. I'm just letting y'all know now. And then we're going to go with Devin Dampier, who's looking great. He was 17 of 26 in his last game, 267 yards, 3 passing touchdowns with 31 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown to boot. The man's been on fire with him. He was such a matchup nightmare for me. I did not enjoy playing him. Next guy, Ryan Williams. This guy is a cheat code. Kudos to Bro Jules for getting them. He didn't have a game last week, but that did not change it did change a little bit where he sat in the standings, but he's still recognized widely just for his talent and skills. All right, so on this note, let's throw this over to King. Who do you? And I'm going to ask a little bit of a different question. I don't want to ask who you think is going to win it based off numbers. I'm going to ask you who you would like to actually see win it.
Honestly, I would probably like for a team that's not in the SEC to get it. So I'm going to be hoping that Dampier continues to have a great season and he takes it, because I would like to see a player that's outside the SEC win it, because we all know SEC stacked, so it's given to see an SEC player take it home. But I'm honestly hoping that someone like Dampier or like an ACC team take it.
Nice. All right, Big Hurt, over to you. Who do you want to see walk away with the Heisman this season?
I said it earlier. I'm going with Devin Dampier. That's gonna been the early pick for me.
All right, guys. Well, you heard it here first. We're all in on Devin Dampier. I mean, I lost him, so I have to go for him. I hope he pulls out a Big 12 championship, and I hope he pulls out a big Heisman win. All right. So for the last thing, Hurt, do you want to go over that spreadsheet so we can kind of cover everybody's wins and losses as far as the how we're doing as far as tiers go? And do keep in mind, guys, this is early in the season, so it's not particularly going to be very filled out right now. We haven't had a lot of user versus user games, head-to-head, tiered user games yet, but we do have quite a bit of them from a standpoint. We do have a few teams that are undefeated and looking at that. Hurt, is that something we can pull up?
Yeah, I got it pulled up. I'll let you go ahead and cover it and talk about it.
All right, perfect. All right, once he gets this pulled up, guys, we'll kind of go through it. This way you guys can see it. But this is what it is. So what I've been doing is keeping track of all your user head-to-head records and your tiered head-to-head records. And what we plan on doing with this is after the second season, after we've completed 2 full seasons, this is going to be your resume on whether you can jump up to represent tier 2 or jump up to tier 1, or if this is your demotion and you're getting moved down from tier 1 to tier 2 or tier 2 to tier 3. And actually, I'm going to take that back. Demotion, I'm just going to say move to a more series for you. With that, it does look like... Oh, Hurt, I think your stream crashed, brother. So I'm going to take that back to motion. I'm just going to say Siri.
All right, yeah, J-Rock, I got that pulled up for you.
All right, perfect. All right, so we're going to start off with the Florida Gators. He was 56-6 to start off 25, and he's starting off with the bang as of right now. Right now, he's 3-0 on head-to-head. He's got a tier 1 victory on his belt. He's 1-0 there. Then we're going to jump down to... Oh, hold on one second. We're going to jump down to Roverhead, who is 54-10. Currently, right now, he's 2-1 with a 1-0 tiered victory. So he's won his SEC matchup. Then we're going to jump down to Hollow Maniac, who's also 1-0, and he's also tiered head-to-head 1-0. He did get a big victory over the Tennessee Volunteers. My bad for not having that updated. He should be 1-0 is there. Then we're going to go to Wendell. He's 0-2 and 0-1 for right now. A Feather is 0-1 on his head-to-heads. And then we're going to jump over to Dax, my boy, who's Arizona. He's 1-0 in user head-to-head, and that user head-to-head was a tiered matchup, so he's 1-0 there as well. Husker Rob, he's going to come in as a user head-to-head of 1-1, but he's also got a tier 2 1-0 head-to-head victory. That's on his belt. Then we're going to jump down to T. Jinx, who's the Aggies. He's 1-1 on head-to-head so far. Marco's 1-0. Silent Poison at this point right now is 0-1, but I do anticipate him getting some big wins. Bro Jules is 2-0 with 2 big non-conference victories. Then at this point, Thick hasn't played a game yet versus a user head-to-head, but he does have an exciting matchup coming up with BYU. After that, it's going to be D-Fry, who right now is 0-2 on user head-to-head, Crash Out D, who's 0-2 on user head-to-head, and he's 0-1 on tiered, but he's probably not going to stay that way. I do anticipate him winning some user games. D-Fry is 0-1, and he also had a tiered loss. He is playing in the SEC, so I'm interested to see how he's going to do throughout the rest of the season. Right now, we've got BYU. Aftershock, who's Georgia Tech, and ID Wakanda, who is South Carolina. They haven't played a user head-to-head game yet, so I don't have that filling in for them. But we're going to jump down to the real Zeus, who is SMU. Right now, he's 0-2. He did get a forced win against a user, but I'm not going to count it here because they didn't actually play. Then we're going to jump down to Longshot, who's 0-2, 2 user games that were tough. Then we've got Josh Allen for MVP, who's USC. He hasn't played a user game yet. Then we're going to jump down to Texas Tech, who's 1-1 on user head-to-head, but he's 0-1 on tiered head-to-head. Then we've got Jordan, who's 0-1, and his only matchup was a tiered, so he's 0-1 as of right now. Rhodesi is 2-0 on user head-to-head, but he's also 1-0 on conference tiered head-to-head or tiered head-to-head. And then after that, we got AJB, who's 1-0, and that I just mistyped that. He's 1-0, and he also has 1-0 on his tiered head-to-head with the victory over Texas Tech. We got Kane coming in at 2-0 with 2 big non-conference wins. He's going to have 2 more matchups coming up after this. Then we've got Ryan, who's 1-1 already with a big non-conference win and 0-1 in conference. Solemn Cartoon is 0-1 as of right now. Then we got Neon Dion at 0-1. Bro 2 hasn't played. He has played a user game. I didn't get it recorded. That's my fault. Right now, he is 0-1. And Viper 3D, who is Notre Dame, I also didn't get his in. That's my fault, guys. I thought I updated this, but he's 1-1 in his tiered. he's 1-1 on user head to head, and he is 1-0 in tiered head to head. Then we got Dr. W, who is 2-0 on his user games, and he's 1-0 in his tiered conference. So that means he won outside his tier. And then we got G Money, who's 0-1 and 0-1 right now. Guys, there's still plenty of time to turn this around. But to give you a heads up, we are keeping track of this. The better you do, the better chance you have to move up into a conference. If you're already at the top conference, you're just becoming the king. As King would say, the king. All right, man. So guys, I just want to ask you both one last question before we end it for the night. How do you guys feel about our tiered system? What do you feel like's the pros about it? What's the cons about it? For me, I love it. I think it's a great way for us to get placed into where we can actually play more competitive games. Give me your thoughts on this, King.
When you first told me about it, I was excited about it because for one, I mean, like, you don't want to put I wouldn't say they're the worst, but I'd be like someone that's not really experienced at playing the game. You don't want to really have them sitting in a conference with like the sweatiest of the players, and because then that won't be fun for them because like they're constantly losing. And I mean, yeah, I know you can try to get better at the game, but I mean, nobody wants to, constantly get beat down by like the toughest guys all the time. Like if you can get matched up by them like one time on the schedule, that's fine. But like constantly every season you're playing them and you're not getting better at it. And I know that gets tiring and you want to leave the league. So having this tier system that helps out a lot, boosts up players' confidence and stuff. And if they're really good in tier 3, jump them up into tier 2, see how they handle that. And if they're doing really good then they can go to tier 1. And that's how, I like that a lot because like you're going to get better regardless of no matter what tier you're in. And then you get to see all these cool matchups and stuff. So I like it a lot. I think you did good with that. So I appreciate that.
Heck yeah. All right, Big Hurt, over to you. How do you feel about it, brother?
Well, I think it's something that we can do. For me, I think it's just something that allows to differentiate tiers and separate and create parity. And I think that's important for a league longevity-wise. when you don't have parity and you don't have teams playing against competition that allows for guys to can play against their equal talent, or I wouldn't even say talent because I think tier 3 has a lot of guys that are talented, but I would just say guys that are maybe as invested. I look at tier 1. I think it's a lot of guys that put a lot of time, hours, prep into their games. And sometimes I look at tier 1 as guys that literally just jump on and play the game. You know what I mean? And then, so I think it's, for me, like I said, I don't think it's sometimes what it comes out as like a skill thing, but I think it's more or less it puts guys on like a level playing field for whatever the metrics are. And when I talk about metrics, I think it's more or less like how much time some guys have, how much free time, or whatever it is. Maybe this is the only game you play, maybe it's one game you play out of the 5 and you just jump on and play just in this league. And then tier 1 guy plays college football ultimate team online versus this is like one of 3 dynasties and this is the only game they play. So it's just a different way to kind of match guys up on a similar playing field level wise for whatever that reason is. And I think what we've done is, or what you've done, I shouldn't say we because I haven't done shit, but what you did is you brought it together to create that parity, and that's important for a league's longevity and success. And if we look at it year to year and kind of try and level that playing field out, that's big. And so I think this is a fun way to do it. I'm excited. I gotta get my shit figured out so I don't have this hotel internet where it costs me games or opportunities. But long story short, I'm excited for it, and I'm excited to see what happens the rest of this season.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna recap this off, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw a special shout out to King Savage for joining us this week. This man has been playing in leagues with me since like 2019, 2020. He's always been a consistent user. He's always someone that, for some reason, we've just always had a great connection, whether it's been in leagues or even outside of leagues. Like, I even remember one time when he went MIA on me for a little bit, and I had to reach out. I had to be like, bro, you good? Let me know you good. And he was like, whoa, G, you ain't got to check on me like that, but I appreciate it. And ever since then, hey, this has been like one of my founding members. There's very few of these guys left that still play with me from 2019, 2020. I understand, life and all that happens, but I'm glad that he's here. I'm glad that he's playing with us. And man, I just want to give a big shout out to Charles. He's a great dude. Hey guys, if you want someone to pay attention to in this season, to learn some tips, get better, he's someone to follow. Go subscribe to his Discord page. Go follow him. The man is great at football. He loves to stream, and he's always down with it. King, since I just kind of bragged you up there, brother, I'm going to let you say a few parting words before we get out of here, and then I'll turn it over to Big Hurt.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that a lot, man. Like you said, we've known each other since like 2019. And then when I went MIA, you checked up on me, and I appreciated that a lot because I was going through some things. And then you were there when I had my son and everything, and you checked up on me, and you said congratulations. And now he's, growing up fast. 1 year old, bad as hell though. He's bad. Like, oh my God. The man calls people on Discord and everything. He knows how to unlock my phone. He's funny. But, I'm always going to ride with you in your leagues and stuff because, when I first joined your first league back in the day, I thought it was well put together. It was fun. And that's what I like to see in leagues and stuff. And then when we started doing this college series and stuff, I knew it was going to be a hit. I love it. And just like with Madden, when we do the fantasy draft, I love that too. It's fun. And I love the fact that we, get different variety of players and everything, and we all come together and have fun. There might be some smack talk here and there, but it's nothing too serious, like, toxic. And that's what I love about this league. And like you said, if anybody need tips on anything and stuff, I can help you. I'm here to help. even for myself, I'm still trying to, learn certain aspects of the game and stuff. But like since I played football growing up and stuff, I know a few things here and there that I can take advantage of. But I'm still trying to learn the stuff, and the two users I'm going to be going up here in this upcoming few weeks and stuff, they beat me, and they're really good at the game. And I've learned from my losses against them, and I'm hoping that the outcomes would change. And if they don't, I'm gonna ask them for some tips and try to get better. But I hope everybody's having fun in this league, and I'm wishing everybody luck. And thank you guys for having me on the show.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, King, but hey, I'm going to address something real quick in the chat. Hey, Boomer Center, you going crazy out there, bro. We got our eyes on you. When that matchup comes, man, I'm looking forward to that. OU and Texas, Red River shootout. Let's go. All right, Big Kurt, I'm going to throw this back over to you, G. Go ahead and close this out, brother.
All right. Well, yeah, I think first things first, I appreciate King Savage taking the time to jump in. It's somebody that I've grown fond of, being a part of J-Rock's Madden League, college football leagues. I think you have not only shown consistency and success, but just kind of carried yourself with a high level of standard and sportsmanship, and that's something that a lot of leagues, I think, lack. And so I respect that, and I appreciate you taking the time to jump in and chat it up with us and talk about the league. And the one thing that I will say, and I'll throw you a cookie, is, man, no one did it better. No one did it better than last Madden when you, with your first overall pick and taking that quarterback. No one did it better. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, for me, I'm just excited for what's to come for the rest of the season. Create a lot of matchups coming up here, especially in conference play now that we're at that point in the season. One thing that I think we failed to talk about, but I'll just quickly talk about it, is Silent Poison, the other commissioner, along with Zeus, who's the Ohio State owner that we had here earlier on in the show. But Silent Poison's the Penn State owner. He's taking some time and he's clipping a lot of these top 10 plays in user games. And we're going to have a top 10 user play kind of Sports Center top 10, but it's going to be the HFA's top 10 through like the first 4 or 5 weeks. Keep streaming your games. Make sure those VODs are up so we can go in and tune in on those games and pull some plays when you're in a user versus user game, so we can find those plays. It'll be fun to look back at some of these plays that are either big plays or just crazy plays that have happened through the first month of the season. And we'll have another show here in another couple weeks. So keep making sure you guys are putting up those VODs, streaming your games. And I know a couple guys haven't been streaming even when we play the computer or something like that. J-Rock's on top of that. Just make sure that you guys are streaming. It's, again, a level of parity, just a level of honor, like honesty, just making sure that you're playing the right way and playing only one time. And it kind of obviously protects you if something does happen, like a server power outage, anything like that. If we can see it on the stream, then we know that you're not just rage quitting. So it's not only to protect the league's integrity, but it's also to kind of protect you as well. So do your job and just post those streams up. Other than that, you're right. You have paid attention to me ramble. Well, not as much as I normally do, but you've listened to me and J-Rock and King Zeus early on ramble for an hour and 22 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate you guys tuning in. This is the Home Field Advantage, the HFA short-term or acronym name. Inside the HFA, we have a NCAA Dynasty. There's a lot of details going on with that. If you guys are interested or you find this interesting, reach out to us. Let us know that you're interested in getting a part and involved and being a part of this. This also will coincide and integrate with a Madden League inside the HFA. And then HFA has been a part of baseball leagues, NBA, golf at one point in time. So there's other opportunities. Jump in, play some guys with the community, with guys like King Savage, J Rock, myself. We enjoy the time to kind of connect with other guys and play these games. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I appreciate you guys tuning in to the Week 5 show, and until next time, peace. Have a good night, guys.
All right, good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.